Yeah, no formalities, I'm just gonna get right into it. Starting it off with the only frontier monster on the list, the HYPNOCATRICE. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The HYPNOCATRICE guest starred in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, along with the Lavasioth and the Great Forest map from Monster Hunter Frontier. I'm not sure why any of that happened, but I dig it. So this guy's pretty cool. He's like a turkey, but also a vulture, and he makes cute little sounds and he puts you to sleep. He's kind of my favorite of all the bird wavers. Not kind of, he is. His armor is alright, it's not exactly my style, but his weapons deal pretty good sleep ailment, which is a rarity in the series, just like this monster. Kinda sucks that he never returned, but it does make sense, it was meant to be a Frontier exclusive monster. So I had to choose my favorite between all the old school flying wyverns from Monster Hunter 1, because I kinda wanted one of them in the 9th spot. So then we got like Plesioth, Kezu, and Gravios, which all have like really good designs, but they're really annoying to hunt. Meanwhile, Rathalos and Rathian are always on people's favorites lists, and I definitely love them too, Rathalos more than the Rathian, but they simply don't compare to the ferocity of the Blows. I'm talking about Diablos and Monoblos. Two very similar monsters, but the one that takes the 9th spot is Monoblos. It was the original offline final boss of Monster Hunter 1. In fact, this monster has always been an offline exclusive, like Lunastra, except in World, because Lunastra was definitely online there. Back to Monoblos, the iconic lance-like horn on its head makes it seem similar to that of a unicorn, if a unicorn was a huge desert dragon. The armor is cool too, it matches the Diablos armor, but it has a bit more color to it with the red accents. Though Monoblos doesn't have any weapons, because the Diablos weapons kind of take that spot, whatever. If you're gonna fight Monoblos, make sure you fight it in the Old Desert, also known as the Dunes in Monster Hunter 4 and Generations. The iconic music there is named after this creature. The next one is a tie between two similar monsters that were back-to-back flagship monsters, Tigrex and Nargacuga. Both considered pseudo-wyverns back in the day. I don't know if they still use that term on in the fandom circles, but they're called that for their wings being front legs instead of just wings. They each have their own musical themes. Both of them are pretty cool and intense. Nargacuga was an easy choice for me. He's one part a dark and edgy dragon with blades for wings, but he's also just kind of like a really angry kitty. Ever since I saw him in the opening of Freedom Unite, I thought he was cool. On the other hand, the Tigrex I did not like originally, but he's grown on me more and more every time I fight him. He's also kind of like a dinosaur, but also just like a tiger is weird. I can't really decide which I like more, they're both equal to me. They're both equally fun to fight, mostly because they have easy to dodge attacks once you actually understand them. And they're also very easy to headlock if you plan your attacks right. They're on the list because they are both walls for me in Freedom Unite, but now they're pretty fun nostalgic monsters to fight in Generations. Each Elder Dragon tends to have command over a different ability, which tend to lead into almost supernatural powers. The one that interests me the most out of all the Elder Dragons introduced in Monster Hunter 2 was Chameleos. Chameleos' power is that he can turn completely invisible, and what made the fight so much fun was this ability. You had to actually track the Chameleos down because he was invisible for the hunt. This proved to be a difficult task. You have to use your hearing and listen for the quiet sounds that Chameleos would make. Of course, once you started fighting it, it would eventually enter rage mode, and then the music would kick in, and it would actually fight you. By cutting off its tail and breaking his horn, you can stop his ability to turn invisible, which is a really, really nice touch, and really, it kind of showed the progress in actually conquering this impossible beast. Now, the Chameleos would be much higher on this list, but unfortunately its recent appearances in 4th generation games have removed the invisible stage of the fight. He's almost never invisible. When you fight him, he immediately goes into the rage mode battle music phase. Plus, his battle theme uses a bunch of assorted stock sample loops, and it never got updated like Tigrex's did. Oh well. I had to include at least one monster from Monster Hunter World, and there's only one that I would ever think to have on my list, and be this high up. NERGIGANTE. Hot damn, this dragon was a surprise hit for me. This monster invokes the feeling of bone and sinew being broken and bashed, unlike any other monster before it. Its freaky ability to just regrow its spikes makes it a very memorable creature. It's one of the few monsters that actually preys on Elder Dragons, and that's cool. Its musical theme is like the best track in Monster Hunter World. I have an unfavorable opinion on Monster Hunter World's soundtrack, but it's really intense and the brass is played very well, and I think it's a really good song. Objectively, he's not the best flagship monster in the series, that goes to Gore Magala, but as an iconic monster that will probably continue to show up in later games, he's a wonderful addition that continues to build the themes of nature and the lore of food chains in the world of Monster Hunter. Sometimes a monster's design makes it stand out more than the fight does. As for this controversial monster, the Kirin only in recent games had become an enjoyable monster to hunt. So this is literally a unicorn. I prefer its older designs, as its design in Monster Hunter World makes it look too much like a dragon for my taste. I love the idea that you're told that this unicorn is a dragon, and it makes you kind of fill in the blanks of what you know about the world of Monster Hunter. Of course, closer inspection you can clearly see it has scales, so no duh, it's actually a dragon, but this is what makes it so cool. Also, thunder is my favorite element in the series, and it's really underused. The Kirin has always been a mysterious monster to me, as well as a difficult one, which has made me always enjoy fighting it. Its musical theme is non-existent. It will just use the musical theme of whatever map you're fighting it in. Though, I believe it is commonly accepted that the Kirin's theme is the song named after the Kirin, the Tower Battle themes, which are really ancient sounding and cool, fitting of this mysterious monster. Now back in Monster Hunter 1, when this monster was introduced, it had no armor set, though in Monster Hunter Freedom they finally designed one. And since then it's kind of become a fan favorite alongside sets like the Tigrex or Raphalos or Nargacuga. The male outfit looks dorky, but the female outfit ended up being kind of a spawn of Rule 34 like no other. I don't know, I think it's cute. The number 4 spot is for the Killer Queen. And no, I'm not talking about Rathian. I'm talking about the one that'll make you bite the dust. No, not Lunastra. I'm talking about Brachydios. Everything it touches gets turned into a bomb, which is the coolest power next to, like, I don't know, stopping time, which thankfully hasn't shown up in Monster Hunter yet. Brachydios was the flagship monster of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and because his attack patterns were so different, he became another wall for players, new and old. I failed many times to him in the past, but now I just plan my evades and he's a walk in the park. His musical theme, translated as Brave Icon, sounds both heroic and also like the sound of a boiling fury getting more and more intense. It's one of my favorite tracks in the series. He introduced the blast element to the series, which gives you the ability to turn everything you touch into a bomb. Very nice. All in all, a fantastic and iconic monster that helped me greatly improve as a player, and that really made me feel heroic when I finally beat him. The next monster canonically eats Kirin for lunch like it's no big deal. The Rajang has been the bane of many hunters, rivaled only by the Deviljho. The Rajang is an ultra-aggressive electric monkey king that will beat you senseless until you give up. He will show up uninvited on quests, just like the Deviljho, and honestly, I have far more trouble with the Rajang than I ever have with the Deviljho. His musical theme is honestly terrifying. The instruments feel like they're in pain, struggling to keep up with the ferocity of this creature. He's a true challenge in every game he's in, and I'm always up for the challenge to slay the Rajang. That's all. He's this high on this list for this challenge alone. His power and strength is a test of skill like no other, and I consider the Rajang the true rival to my hunter, and whenever I play, any game. I'll never forget completing that one arena quest against the 2 Rajang in Freedom Unite. That was hard. The quest Rise to the Summit in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite was the ultimate test. The AKANTOR is the most kaiju monster in the series. Back when I still sucked at hunting, the AKANTOR seemed impossible. His musical theme starts imposing and scary, but gradually builds into a heroic anthem pushing you to go forward and into victory. And I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually, the failures I kept having finally resulted in a real victory. I soloed the AKANTOR, and that was one of the greatest moments in Monster Hunter for me. I was a champion, and I rose to the summit. Since then, I've been able to solo AKANTOR like no problem. I love the AKANTOR. Honestly, he kind of sounds adorable if you listen to like the little cries he makes. I wish I could capture this thing and let it live. It doesn't deserve to die. This thing is magical. They say the flagship monster of the first game you play usually ends up being your favorite monster. My interest in this creature perplexes even myself. An underwater monster? Number 1? This monster is a pain to fight underwater, and on land it's nearly impossible to hit his horns. But like every other difficult monster on this list, I enjoy the pain. Lagiacrus is the Lord of the Seas, a massive amphibious sea wyvern, part of the Leviathan group. With no real predators, it's at the top of the aquatic food chain. Across the whole Monster Hunter world, even the infamous Plesioth is at the mercy of the Lagiacrus. This warrants its position and regard as a feared monster. It's big, it's fast, and it uses the electricity, my favorite element. I love everything about this. From the moment you first meet him in Monster Hunter Tri, in a simple 1-star gathering quest, this guy just shows up and destroys you. Like every other Monster Hunter game, but I don't know, being underwater, it made it just extra terrifying. The swimming controls sucked, and this guy just shows up, and he's like on your tail, eating you alive. The build up to the point where you actually defeat Lagiacrus is similar to the build up to defeating Gore Magala. Your first real fight with him, you battle until he limps, and then when you fight him again, this time you actually have to finally slay him. And funny enough, I didn't. Yeah, I loved Lagiacrus so much I refused to kill him. In my original save file for Monster Hunter Tri, I only ever captured him. I never killed a Lagiacrus. I don't know. I found out later that capturing monsters in the lore doesn't necessarily mean they won't be killed, so really that was pointless for me. It did, however, make getting the rare drops much easier. And the equipment, oh my god, the equipment is still one of my... It is 100% my favorite armor in the entire series. The complementary blue and red color scheme, and it truly captures the whole concept of using the monster parts to create it. The weapons focus on the thunder element, which of course 100% speak to me, and decked out in an all blue-red armor, oh my god, it just feels perfect. There's also a Lagiacrus weapon for every weapon class, which is awesome. Above all else, his theme song, Tremble at Sea and Land, the deserted island battle music, is truly incredible. Monster Hunter Tri's composers truly outdid themselves. The performances and mixing created such a beautiful song. This song even includes the main theme of 3rd Generation, the song To One With Life. Overall, my love for this monster is a mix of nostalgia and genuine appreciation for its beautiful design. So those are my top 10, what are yours? Let me know in the comments below, and remember, always take breaks from now and then. All play and no rest makes for a dull hunter, right? Alright, bye!